It is the last day of school, which was days ago in Flower Bluff. You may remember something else. Let me scroll back to my archives here. You may remember this years ago. We talked about senior pranks. We started off during our very first season, and then we talked about it again back in May 2021, which was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we focused on pranks. We also focused on this 6 years ago. But, can you ever imagine hijacking a computer? Can you ever imagine sitting in class one day and watching a movie, and then all of a sudden your friend hijacks the teacher's computer to show racist images? It's exactly the story you're only seeing on this broadcast. This was from ABC7 in Brentwood. Take a look.
Would have never thought. Let me hack the teacher's computer and try to, it's things that you hear about in the movies or something. You don't really think that it's going to happen in real life.
But that did happen at Edna Hill Middle School in Brentwood. This parent wished to remain anonymous out of fear of retaliation. Her daughter is an 8th grade student.
I mean, it surprises me that it got that far, to the point where they're even insulting or disrespecting a teacher.
According to the Brentwood Union School District, a student allegedly hijacked the projector in 3 teachers' classrooms to display racist images earlier this week. Parents told the I-Team some of the students were learning about Jim Crow laws when the incident happened, adding the racist images were followed by an inappropriate video of animals. The district says teachers acted immediately and were able to stop the projections from continuing, and the principal immediately contacted the IT department to investigate the incident and prevent it from happening again. But parents told the I-Team students have reported this happening a handful of other times in recent months, including one case where a student was allegedly able to stream porn in class.
It's hard to even, it's mind-blowing at this point. Actually, I should say, I don't want to say it because it's not professional, but it is, and it's scary, and I worry for my kids.
Elaine Bazuzzi lives across the street from the school, where her sister is a teacher.
What I heard, for example, like, there's still some sort of racism going on. Kids are calling each other. Sorry, nobody has the right to use that word. That's scary, and that's, God, it's unnecessary.
The school superintendent, Dr. Dana Eaton, told us in a statement, "Our district is a place where everyone belongs, and we want all to feel welcome. We are continuing our investigation and expect to conclude it soon. We will not tolerate any type of racist or hateful behavior, and the consequences will be severe for any student involved." So how could have this happened? Sources inside the school say students are able to stream content on their iPhones using Chromecast.
It's basically one way for you to cast whatever contents you have on your phone or your laptop. You have to be on the same Wi-Fi.
Ahmed Benafa is a tech expert and engineering professor at San Jose State University.
What could have the school done to have prevented this?
Have some restrictions on who will join the the Wi-Fi by defining the devices. For example, if somebody would like to join the Wi-Fi and start casting, they have to have a certain PIN number, and that PIN number will be given to only certain people.
It sounds like it's a pretty easy fix.
Yes, it's not difficult.
What is difficult? Comprehending why this even happened.
Have you heard about a pattern of bullying and racism?
Bullying, yes. Yes.
How often does that happen?
It happens frequently. Kids that were bullied for no apparent reason.
For the I-Team, Stephanie Sierra, ABC 7 News.
Now, if you'd like to get in touch with the I-Team, call this number.
Alright. I think this story could deal with a big fat common sense alert. Common sense alert. What are you thinking about posting, doing crap like this? I mean, it's even worse. I mean, A senior prank is a senior prank. I mean, think about this. I mean, senior prank is something of a tradition, but like as we saw in the Classroom Confidential, one kid was suspended for his pranks. I mean, there was something you could find on YouTube, like doorstop glued to the floor, post-it notes all over the doors, livestock in the classroom, desks on the roof, foil, styrofoam. I mean, even you find the ones on YouTube. But there were still a lot more senior pranks happening. This is Senior Prank 23. 2023, I should add. Coming up next, we're going to look at some news clips about these pranks that have gone too far. From WLWT at Rowell High School, where somebody put toilet paper in. Then we're going to go to Kentucky to look at more of these pranks. And then later on, can apple juice cause E. coli if someone drinks it? A consumer alert you won't miss. Stay with us. Up front tonight, Senior Prank 2023 or Senior Prank 23, depending on how you look at it. As y'all saw for tonight, a Give Me a Break investigation into senior pranks that have gone too far. You may remember the 6 years ago when we focused on senior pranks and how they can get too far. Now, you may have seen some videos on YouTube about all these senior pranks that have gone too far. I mean, it just used to be fun. And I watched a movie called Fist Fight. Charlie Day, Ice Cube. I may show you some clips, but YouTube's going to block me, so I'm not going to show you this clip. Right? But I will describe the pranks. Horace Hall hopped up on cocaine. There's the tripwire with pain happening. Let's see what else. There's the remote prank to where one student turned off the remote and then a teacher had to come in to fix it. There was a penis being mowed on a lawn. Well, not actually a penis. Someone was drawing a penis with the lawnmower. Let's see, what else? If you watched the movie Fist Fight, you may have seen the pranks. If I missed any, comment down below. Maybe a few of them. It was someone who was missing. Okay, we got the horse hopped up on cocaine. We got the remote prank, the tripwire. Oh, I remember. Throwing out the bat and putting the computer with the porn. That's what I remember. If I missed any, let me know in the comments. But this is what happened. A senior prank has gone too far in Kentucky. That was to where all 75 students are under investigation and they may not be able to walk the stage. Now that's what can happen to you. If you are a senior, you decide, I'm going to go pull some pranks. Your consequence could be you may not be able to walk graduation and you will be spending the rest of your life in jail. I mean, that's not your right, it's a privilege. You may have worked too hard for your diploma. But walking that stage is not your right, it's a privilege. You have to earn it. And if you earn it, if you earn that privilege, you get to walk and see all your parents. I never pulled senior pranks, and I never will. Here's Chris Jacobs.
Mike Cherie, Ryle High School seniors are supposed to be graduating next Saturday, but right now they may be at risk of missing the ceremony and not walking or even being suspended altogether because of this senior prank. It was carried out late Tuesday night. Now, we were able to obtain some of that cell phone footage recorded by one of the students involved. Take a look. this is what teachers and staffers walked into Wednesday morning. Hallways covered in toilet paper and saran wrap, Vaseline rubbed on doors, paper thrown everywhere, and track hurdles were actually turning the hallways into obstacle courses. We talked with a spokesperson from the Boone County Sheriff's Department tonight. He confirms right now they're investigating 75 students. He says a meeting was held with the school administration this morning, but no charges have been filed. A student who was involved in the prank tells us some students have already been suspended and others will not be able to walk at graduation. So some action already being taken there. I want to show you guys something before we send it back to you. When we pulled up here to one of the entrances, we actually saw this over my right shoulder. We saw some of the classic toilet paper in a tree prank, which we're not exactly sure if this is part of that same incident that was recorded on cell phone video or part of a separate incident, but either way, the fallout does continue. Again, 75 Ryle High School seniors are being investigated for that senior prank. We did reach out to Boone County School District to hear what they had to say about this, but have not heard back. Reporting in Union, Kentucky, Chris Jacobs, WLWT, News 5.
All right, Chris, thanks.
All right. Now here is the second video.
I just bought a German car because...
The first video is from Chris Jacobs. Now here's the second one that you will see. It's the same prank that they described. Take a look.
One mom calls a prank gone bad could lead now to criminal charge.
I mean, you may have heard the story, but now you're now going to hear the mom. That's right. One of the parents, it could be one of the 75, the parents of this, one of the 75 kids who pulled the prank, is now speaking out to tell her side of the story. Take a look.
One mom calls a prank gone bad could lead now to criminal charges. District officials say 75 Ryle High School students created dangerous conditions for their classmates and the teachers too. WLWT News 5's Todd Dykes is live tonight right outside the high school there in Union, Kentucky with the new information for us. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Mike. You know, we learned today that some staff members here at Ryle High suffered some injuries as they cleaned up a serious mess that students believed to be seniors left behind. This cell phone video was shot by a student who was inside Ryle High School after classes were over on Wednesday. Sheriff's deputies say that student and 74 others are under investigation for the role they may have played in creating this end-of-the-year mess staff members had to clean up before the last day of class on Thursday.
They took it a little too far, so it kind of was a prank gone bad.
The prank involved, among other things, track hurdles in hallways and Vaseline on classroom doors.
You know, everyone at once are going to do something dumb here and there as a kid. Overall, I think the prank would have been fine, you know, if they would have not took it to a certain extent.
In Jan Ware's mind, there was nothing fine at all about what's being described as a senior prank.
I think the punishment should be that they have to repeat their grade over again. That's my personal opinion. There was no need for them to do what they did the day before the end of school.
In a statement, Boone County school officials said, quote, "Unfortunately, due to the extensive damage caused by the students, we have received reports of our staff being injured during the cleanup process." Boone County Commissioner and high school parent Jesse Brewer believes what happened warrants a firm response, one that balances punishment with the promise of better days to come.
Yes, we need to address the issue. Yes, we need to send that message to other folks, but we need to make sure that, remember, if they're 18, 17, 18, they are still kids. And there are kids. And generally speaking, they are good kids. And we need to take that weight into consideration as well.
Now, Ryle High School's graduation is set for 1 week from tomorrow at Truist Arena on NKU's campus. There's been talk that students who took part in this prank may not be allowed to walk across the stage. School officials did not address that issue in the statement the district released earlier today. For now, reporting live here in Union, Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.
Todd, thanks so much.
Okay. All right. Okay. Common sense alert. Repeat the grain? Yeah, that could be it. But the school says if they participate in this prank, we can't let them walk the stage. That's harsh enough. But will they still get the diploma? I don't know. I may have to ask a few people. Let me tell you, I never did any senior pranks, but if I would take part of this, I'd fess up saying, yes, I took part of this. He threatened to kill my family, so and so, blah, blah, blah. If I didn't do it. When they ask who, I would just spell out the name, and that person would not walk, and I would walk. That probably would be it. And again, look, these senior pranks are not a joke. I mean, we look at all these pranks. I mean, pranks gone too far. What can the school do? I mean, what other punishment should happen? Have the kids clean it up. You shouldn't be leaving it for the janitors. It's like, oh, let's do a senior prank, and then we'll have the janitors come pick it up. Yeah, right. What we learned growing up is that if you make a mess, you clean it up. You don't leave it for the custodians. They probably make $6 or $10 an hour at best. Clean up puke with sawdust. Clean up, mopping the floors. Custodian, like we talked about on our custodians episode. Custodians are more like building superintendents than janitors. They're responsible for keeping the school well maintained and clean. Actually, I may show that story again on the next show back Thursday. But in New York, it's probably the same thing. Janitors have to work 8-hour shifts, making sure the school is well maintained and clean. Look, I'm all for making people laugh and all, but let me tell you, if you want to make people laugh, go to a comedy club and crack some of your mama jokes or something. Your mama's so fat when she gets on the elevator, oh, what's going down? Something like that. But if you're gonna pull pranks, pull some on your friends. Put the whoopee cushion in your teacher's seat. The old pranks. The whoopee cushion. But don't ever. Actually, what you never want to do, and this has happened. It happened in some schools. Have you ever heard of this thing called liquid ass? Liquid ass is a little bottle. You can't not get it at stores. You only get it on Amazon and eBay. It's a little bottle you get. We don't know what's in it, but you spray it on yourself and people think you stink. And someone smells. When we come back, I'm going to show you some clips about these liquid ass pranks that happen in school and what the common sense perspective should have been. Stay with us. And then a bit later on, and then also still ahead, can apple juice contain E. coli? Rob Stafford will explain. Stay with us. I got a question for you. You ever heard of this little bottle called liquid ass? It's a little spray bottle. You cannot get it in most grocery stores or Walmart. The only place you can get it on is at Amazon and eBay. What it is, it's a little bottle. We don't know what it's made out of, but people use that. They spray it on themselves all around. And the idea of the prank is to make you think that you crapped on yourself. That's a prank you may pull on your parents, but be careful doing that at school. Here's a clip from a channel called Educated Eddie. 4 years ago, he decided, I'm going to pull a prank on my school by spraying liquid ass. And what happened next would leave one teacher barfing. No joke. Watch for yourself.
More information about the Olympics here. So the deadlines I put up here, the photogram, that's the one you do in the darkroom. I got the pictures, I'll show you in a second. That sculpture needs to be done on May 28th. And all images, I'll give you a flash drive, and then we'll get closer. The rest of everything is all due May 31st. Right, please. The film loading tournament will happen on that day, June 3rd, and voting on the creating images. Okay, so what and it's okay if you guys took this short list, so take this, give it to me. This will be pretty much one per group. So what we're going to be doing is going to be finding out, we're going to be determining a group right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down the people in your group and the name of your country. Right? Remember, it has to involve some sort of photographic name. There's one group here, 3 that said JPEG, Djibouti or something like that. Program stuff, and you borrow it, you're bringing it back, okay, you get the photo paper for me. You can certainly bring in your own stuff, but there's a lot of stuff there. You okay? It's going to be part of it really bad. It's so good. It happens.
But let's be clear here. Before we continue playing, you made me ask you who sprayed that? This guy. He had the bottle. He pulled the prank.
There are things that happen. It's happened. Stuff blows from there from other places too. We actually had pepper spray for that thing. I think I've heard that from. I don't know. I know I've had worse things, so it could be that. Okay, so we just finished up so you guys get to work on so endure for just a moment longer. Please listen. Okay, by your timing of stuff, right? Yes. Have at it. Let's go get a fan in here for a moment, guys, right? Alright, so glue tips in there. And yeah, I'm gonna get a fan in here. I'll start evacuating this here. I'll big old huge fan. I got to go get it, right? I don't smell anything. No, it's not bad. No, it's not that. It's not that. You guys need to step outside. Go ahead.
When is he gonna squeal that he did?
Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah, there's the fan.
the teacher actually got pissed, so he had to like throw it in the trash. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, smash the fucking thumbs up button, subscribe.
That's enough. We now know what he did, and I applaud that teacher for doing the right thing. But for this YouTuber to educate Eddie, you need to be educated on common sense. I'm talking to you, educated Eddie. You better listen up good. 4 years later, you better not be doing this again. If you got a grandkid, you're gonna get kids one day, you got a nephew that's going to your school, you better start telling him, get your damn grades up, don't pull no any damn pranks. If he does this, don't be walking in the same shoes. If you think it's funny to you, it's not cool. They're gonna find out who did this, and once that happens, they may start evacuating the room, and you may get in big trouble. It's exactly what happened in this next clip. This next clip shows that Ugazi OT sprayed the same thing in school, and he got in big trouble because of his act. So, let's play the part. This is actually the first part of this. The first part is to where he sprayed outside. Let's take a look. Now it's probably a repeat. You see that? You see that right there? This guy was the one spraying it. Now we go to the second part right here on the school bus. And he was the same person that did it. Let's go to the bathroom. This was the third part to this video. That guy had it, he gave it to him. And the same thing happened in the classroom.
Oh my God!
So, yeah. And this happened again 5 months ago. I sprayed fart spray. This is what happened. I sprayed fart spray on the mic at school and interviewed. The whole 14 minute video. We're not going to play that here. But what does common sense say to this person out there that did it? Bugazi? You need to sit your Bugazi ass down right now, because I'm going to have to explain some common sense. You got no right doing that crap. You may think it's funny, but your friends are not. That's the whole reason why, I mean, you would have sprayed the thing in the hallway. All over each classroom, they go walking in and go, "Ooh, what's the thing? Ooh, 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 ooh." And what if the principal found out it was you? You're the one that did it. You have to fess up and say, that's how they would do. You get called the principal and said, someone sprayed something that was nasty in here. Was it you? It wasn't me. And then that's one person. The other person would say, yes, it was me. And I know what you're going to say right now. I will empty my pockets and you can look in the bag. One person, he would empty out the pockets. And then one person look in the bag. And then all of a sudden, start digging in for like something. And then they find it and they say, you were telling the truth. What will be the punishment? Detention. And people may think, that's going too far here. It doesn't have to go too far. What you did was wrong. You need to realize that your actions have consequences. Didn't your parents not teach you that? I bet nobody would. And this is very different. You ever heard of stink bombs? Stink bombs are some stuff that stink bombs are some stuff that they just set it off and then it goes pop. Exactly what happened in this case. It's way different from the spray bottles. Except you set it off and then the bathroom all stinks. Exactly what happened in this case. Take a look.
Having a rash of stink bombs set off in the school. Setting off stink bombs is a major offense. It's a health concern to breathe in those fumes. So when a student does that, it's out of school suspension. Hey, Mr. Pace, I'm glad you're here. Lucas, we got a serious issue here. There have been 4 incidents involving stink bombs. Your name has come up again.
Again? They said that I threw some stink bomb somewhere. I don't know what's up. That's just stupid.
Staff members have come to him to tell me who.
I'm not, no, we don't divulge, we don't give out names. I just want to know who's that. No, he knows how to play the game. He is used to things like this. We've questioned him many times, and believe me, he was not intimidated. Do you have any stink bombs on you now? No.
Well, let's see. Empty your pockets.
Take everything out, because I'm going to look in there.
Because there's craziness going on in that bathroom. I don't know if they're setting up something, getting ready to pop one of those things. I don't know. This is so serious that people are getting sick. I was coughing one day when that thing went off out there. You need to try to clear your name, because I'm finding it very hard to believe, Lucas, that you are telling the truth.
I don't know why people are accusing me. I really don't know. I'm being framed because I didn't do it. That's it.
We're talking nice here.
I don't even know where to buy a stink bomb.
If you're involved in this, you're going to be suspended for 10 days out, and your folks are going to be called to the school to come get you. This conversation is over, but we're getting to the bottom of this. All right, so remember what I told you. If you know anything, hear anything, I need to know. All right? So you can go on back to class. Lucas may have walked away today without getting in any trouble, but if Lucas is involved, he is not going to get away with it.
Now, common sense alert. Now, when I saw the clip, I commented first thing when he said, I don't know how to buy a stink bomb. And when you saw him looking in the backpacks, did you see any stink bombs in there? I believe he was telling the truth. Maybe one person must have slipped it in And then what had happened was Frame Lucas. That may be my possibility. After all, this was like, what, 10 years old? And 8 years later, over 10 years later, he may have done this with his kid? Okay. The common sense perspective is, don't be bringing stink bombs to school, any type of bombs. That goes against school board zero tolerance policy. You can get suspended, you can go to jail, blah, 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 so and so, this and this. Now, I'm looking for one of my comments here, because I commented on the video saying I don't know where to buy a stink bomb. Well, here's where you can buy one. Go on Amazon. Go on eBay. If you go on eBay and look up stink bombs, I'm not going to show it to you because we'll be showing all the tricks, and people may do that at school one day. Fart bombs, 20 fart bombs for $7. You can find one on eBay. You can like one case of 36. You can buy it for like over $20 plus free shipping and taxes. A military grade stink bomb. Then you can also find some liquid ass. Three pieces for $23.96. One piece for almost $10. Two for $16.97. For Dumu. I can't pronounce it. But you probably get the picture here. I mean, it may be a joke to do some stuff like this, but it ain't a joke to other people. You don't know what people are allergic to. You don't know what people are allergic to in the situation. So when you do so, what you're creating here is an atmosphere that you want to evacuate the schools so that you don't have to learn anything. No. School is for learning. Common sense needs to tell you that you're here to go to school, you're here to learn, get your diploma, get your education, and get on with your life. That is what you're here for. You're not here to goof off, make friends, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. You're there to learn. It's like at work. You're there to work. Not to goof off, not to make any friends, to work and make money. That's the whole goal here. So just remember this. I mean, last day of school's happened. You got till August 9th to get your shit straight. And I'm really glad. And for that, I am glad that something happened like this was done about this years later. We don't know what happened, but I found one of the former principals on there, Jim Lamb. I don't know if I should have him on the show, because it has been like years since he was on the principal's office. He was on the principal's office. We don't know how he's doing, but if he came on the show, tell his story and say, well, yeah, blah, 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 so and so, this and this. I don't want to go that way. I'll leave it to the professionals. You may have heard about E. coli in meat and vegetables, but what if it's all in the apple juice? Up next, we're going to show you what can happen when E. coli is found in apple juice. You may be surprised by what's happening, by what happened. Stay with us. You've heard about E. coli. It's a deadly thing that's happening it kills over 500 Americans. Now, so far we've heard about E. coli in our meats. We showed you a 2020 segment that about in our vegetables. If the package is pre-washed, you wash it. Now, if you're familiar with this, you may have seen E. coli being found in one of kids' drinks, apple juice. Now, we're not talking about the apple juice that we saw tests being happening, like we saw this earlier this season. No, this is really different. the question is there any bad apples to pick from the tree? Here's Rob Stafford.
I never thought twice about it. I, naively assumed that if it was on the shelf, that it was safe.
It is an old-fashioned favorite, an American tradition. Millions of parents serve it to their children every day.
Apple juice. I've given all three of my children apple juice since they were babies. What could be safer?
But in Denver, Colorado, fresh apple juice is no longer part of 5-year-old Brian Dimmick's diet. The drink his mother always considered a health food had become a potential health threat.
He changed from a healthy kid to a really sick kid almost overnight.
3 weeks ago, Brian drank apple juice. 5 days later, he was hospitalized in critical condition. Brian's kidneys were failing.
It was real hard to believe at several points along the way that he was going to make it.
And Brian is not alone. A 16-month-old girl in Denver died Friday. As many as 53 others became ill in Colorado, California, Washington State, and British Columbia. All after drinking apple juice, all apparent victims of the dangerous E. coli bacteria, normally associated with undercooked tainted ground beef. The same kind that killed 4 children and sickened 600 people in the Pacific Northwest in 1993. So how does the same dangerous E. coli bacteria find its way into something which seems as safe and healthful as apple juice? Health officials believe some apples from an orchard like this one became contaminated with manure. And because the juice was not pasteurized, the bacteria was never killed.
E. coli 0157 is a challenge.
Dr. Rob Tokes is chief of the foodborne disease section of the Centers for Disease Control.
I don't think we know yet what the best means of preventing this sort of outbreak is. Pasteurizing juice is certainly one option, and it's a technology that's available and easy to use.
For a long time, experts believed the high level of acid in apple juice was enough to kill E. coli without pasteurization. But in 1991, the bacteria showed up in juice at a roadside stand in Massachusetts. And now, for the first time, in juice from a factory.
Foods that may have once been considered completely safe because they were too acid for bacteria to survive may in fact be a haven for E. coli 0157. That's one example of the surprises that E. coli 0157 has up its sleeve.
Certainly a surprise to the manufacturer of the tainted juice, which mechanically scrubs its apples. The Odwalla Company of California voluntarily pulled its apple-based products off the shelf.
We believe that we've done everything known to the industry to prevent this.
Many customers bought Odwalla's apple drinks because they are natural, not pasteurized. A process juice lovers say reduces flavor and nutrients. Even though E. coli is rarely found in juice, the Food and Drug Administration recommends that children and the elderly drink only pasteurized apple juice. The overwhelming majority of juice is pasteurized. The trouble is, it's tough to tell which brand is and which is not. As we found in this store, many of the brands simply don't say. But experts tell us if the juice is not pasteurized, it should not be here on the shelf, but in the refrigerated section of the store. If you're not sure, ask your grocer. Health officials also suggest these tips to reduce your risk of infection. If you buy unpasteurized juice, boil it for 30 seconds. Always wash fresh fruits and vegetables. Make sure ground beef is cooked thoroughly till the inside is brown and the juices run clear. And your mom's advice is the best advice. Wash your hands with soap and hot water after using the bathroom and after preparing raw meat.
Brian, you take care and come back and visit us, okay? Okay, see you on Tuesday. Okay.
Brian Dimmick is one of the lucky ones. He came close to total kidney failure, but is expected to make a full recovery. Scientists can't say for sure how great a risk drinking unpasteurized juice poses to the public, but it's a risk the Dimmick family does not think anyone should take.
I would hate to see another child as sick as this kid was. It was just frightening.
In response to this latest E. coli scare, the Food and Drug Administration is considering a requirement to pasteurize all apple juice. Meanwhile, Odwalla executives have offered to pay all medical bills related to the outbreak.
It's like we talked about. You need to, this is what you do. Fruits and vegetables, you need to wash them. If the package is pre-washed, you need to wash it. Ground beef, You need to cook until the outside is brown and the juices run clear. So that E. coli, so that all bacteria can be killed. And always, wash your hands. This is the most important thing for all fast food workers, restaurant workers out there. You need to wash your hands. There ain't no excuse. Toilet paper don't do crap. That's probably the key here. That's the key here to save yourself. Okay. So, if you follow the tips, you can protect yourself. Okay. So, what's the bottom line here again? You need to make sure that you're safe. If you, like really, with chicken, here's what you need to know. Cook fish, chicken, pork, and beef to every internal temperature. 165 degrees for chicken, something degrees for beef, pork, and fish should be cooked till it's flaky. Alright, coming up next, can digital forensics change how crimes are solved? Well, it's put to the test. Stay with us. VDF. Vehicle Digital References. Forensics, sorry. VDF. Video. Vehicle Digital... whatever. VDF or something like that. It's a device. It's tools being used to identify the car of something that happened. In one case, you will see what one person, the shooter in Idaho. Sorry, I can't speak today. I can't speak at all. Which I can't speak. You'll probably get the picture. In one case in particular, the man you're about to see here was identified as the shooter in Idaho, killing all students. So, can it really be helped to solve crimes? Here's Lisa Guerrero.
Could he be caught by his own car? Experts say clues hiding in his car's computer system could spell trouble for Brian Koberger, the man accused of killing 4 Idaho college students.
We can pull things like his contacts, his call logs, as well as some navigation and track point data that show his location.
It's called Vehicle Digital Forensics, and it's changing the way murders are solved.
The car is, I guess, what we would like to call a gold mine in terms of forensics.
Even breathing new life into some cold cases.
We didn't know for sure that there was foul play until his body was discovered.
Rhonda French says her dad's murder went unsolved for years until a detective learned about vehicle forensics. Detectives say the key to solving the crime wasn't DNA or even fingerprints, but the computer system built into Ronald French's truck. By tapping into it, investigators say they found a time-stamped recording of the killer's voice, placing him at the scene of the crime.
When they found that, it was just like the clincher.
Prosecutors say when confronted with all that, Joshua Wessel pleaded guilty to the murder of Ronald French. So how does it work? Before we had experts hook into this car's computer infotainment system, I went for a little test drive. First I fueled up at this gas station. Then I made a stop at this Starbucks. Back on the highway, I needed a little road trip music, so I put on one of my favorites. Shuffle Prince. Now shuffling Prince. This is what it sounds like. Time to get back to work. Call Megan.
Calling Megan Lupo.
Call Charlie.
Calling Charlie McElravy.
Okay, Jake, you ready?
I'm ready.
Then I brought the car to Jake Green's team at Envista Forensics.
Oh, yeah.
In a matter of minutes, Jake's team carefully extracted the computer from inside.
There we go. This is the motherboard of our infotainment system, which holds the keys to the castle.
So, were they able to tell everywhere I went?
Lisa, my guys got you. The first place you stopped at down there is a gas station. It's a Circle K. Did you get gas?
I did.
And you went to a Starbucks. Did you get me a coffee?
I got me a coffee.
He could also pull info on who I was talking to.
At 11:52, he called Charlie McElravy at 517.
Don't say anymore. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's part of our team. Who else did I call?
At 11:55, he called Megan Lupo at 201.
And could even tell what music I was listening to.
You listened to a Prince song.
Wait, you were able to even determine what I was listening to in the car.
That's exactly right.
And he says similar personal information from 17 other phones were stored on this car.
That's common sense. So if you're committing a murder, you did something wrong, VDF can basically hunt your ass down, tow your car while whooping your ass all the way to jail. They'd be like, bzz, ow, 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 bzz, ow, ow, lock up, ow. The terrible joke. We'll be right back. Are you ready to glue up some hot dogs? Or maybe that sizzling steak? Or maybe some smoky brisket? Or maybe some baby back ribs? Sorry, I had to get a little dramatic in a moment. But what if we told you you could save money by... What if we told you you could save money for buying meat? For this Memorial Day weekend, if you plan on cooking. Here are some tips. Roll it.
Many people this weekend are going to be firing up their grills, and firing up those grills could set a fire in your pocket as food prices continue to skyrocket. Americans are pulling more cash out of their wallets to pay for their Memorial Day cookouts as meat prices remain high. And if you're like me, you like to save money. Here's how you can keep from getting burned at the checkout. Terry Munch is the owner of Moody's Quality Meats, so he knows a thing or two about meat prices. He says the savings start by finding the deals.
Well, it depends on the cut that you want to get. You know, you look for the specials, but you want to be aware of the specials and make sure that they are good quality, and then what you want, and then try to, not to overbuy.
According to the USDA, cattle prices increased nearly 8% last month. Compared to April 2022, they were nearly 25% higher. Meats are the favorite for the grill, but Terry says don't rule out cheaper ingredients.
Chicken is still a good buy. A lot of times you get tired of chicken, but you can do chicken and sausage. That's usually a pretty good, barbecue item. Pork is right now still a good buy. Pork ribs.
Health-conscious consumers may favor organic products, but if you want to save money, Terry says stick with less expensive regular meat.
All natural beef, or grass-fed beef, or grass-finished beef. You're paying more money for that. Organics, you're paying more money for it. There is not that much difference in it.
You can also save money by cutting out the middleman. Go straight to the source. We're talking about places where meat is cut in-house, like butcher shops or meat markets.
So we're able to fabricate carcasses, so that mitigates part of that cost down. We can cut out that other person or that other process is what it amounts to.
Reporting in Corpus Christi, Devon Taylor, Chris 6 News.
All right, so let's cut to the chase. Let's get to the meat of the matter. Here's some tips to keep your cookout delectable instead of disastrous. Before you throw those steaks on the grill, make sure that it's clean. Here's a natural way to clean the grill. After you heat it up, cut an onion in half. Poke it with a fork and use the onion to scrape the grill. It actually works. Onions, by the way, are naturally antibacterial. Here's an easy way to get your charcoal going. You'll need some empty cardboard
cardboard egg cartons. Fill the space where the eggs sat with charcoal and set the cartons on fire. Having trouble getting your charcoal going? If you're grilling fish, grill it on a bed of citrus. This will keep the fish from tearing or breaking apart as it cooks. And this one's my favorite. Here's how the pros keep their burgers moist. Stick an ice cube in the middle of your burger patty. Make sure it's a thicker patty though, before you toss it onto the grill.
And as always, make sure you check your internal temperatures of whatever you're cooking. Fish, beef, pork, chicken. So that way, your family can be safe next time you're on the grill for Memorial Day while you're swimming and grilling. I'm a very funny guy. You gotta create some dramatic... Thank you. Cut it out. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Friday going to Saturday. We're going to see you again for Give Me a Break Saturday night with less funny and more seriousness. And a lot more energy. For everyone here at YouTube, it's just me, concentration, not strength. Keep your family healthy and safe this Memorial Day weekend. If I don't see you, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good night.